Hello and welcome to episode 394 of the DCP Plus Side Quest podcast. Gonna be a lot of plus in this episode, I think. A lot of plus.
Lot of plus.
You know,
Lot of plus.
that intro has the Ron Burgundy effect. I'm Ron Burgundy. This episode 394.
I don't think you've ever paid me a better compliment.
We'll put the question mark in there.
Guys,
G'day.
all right, so you guys have been both playing Black Myth, Wukong.
I haven't
want to
played
keep
it
calling it Wulong, so excuse me if oh, you haven't played it yet? Oh, I'm
No.
sorry. Okay.
I just got back at 8:30 p.m. yesterday.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know Mylan just said he's been playing it. What?
Mylan
I've been
has,
playing
Can
yeah.
you talk about what you did yesterday? You can, because you've been
Oh, yeah.
posting about it on Twitter. You went
Yep.
and played Monster Hunter Wilds.
I did.
I can't wait to hear about that. So early
Mhm.
previews are good from the pre-chat. What did you say? It's the best game ever. Everybody else should quit making games and go help them make more of that.
When Watts turned on the camera today, I was like, I can feel the energy and the aura. She's so happy. And Monster Hunter must have been good.
It was so good. So good.
Nice. So, do you want to talk about that first, or do you want to talk about Wukong, or
We
you
also
want to
got
talk about
Gamescom.
weeks? Anything else?
Gamescom, yeah.
Yep.
Gamescom
Oh,
is
Gamescom
happening.
as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then I've been deep diving into the world of Warhammer 40K, getting ready for Space
Ooh.
Marine 2, which is it's a dangerous place, Warhammer 40K. You know those little
Wait,
plastic
what have you been
miniatures?
doing?
What do you mean?
When you say deep diving, have you been reading? Have you been reading lore? Have you been buying? Have you been painting miniatures? Have you?
So, Miley, do you remember how you used to make lore videos for Destiny?
Yeah.
There's like 400 people who make them for Warhammer 40K. There are so many. And some of them, like, they do that ASMR thing where they just like, here's a 2-hour video explaining the lore of the Chaos Marines. And you can just kind of listen to this as you drift off to sleep. And some of them do like full on like reenactments with the figurines and everything. And then some people like just play the game with like expertly painted figurines. And then some people just like paint the figurines and show you how to paint really good. And then, oh my God, like, I think I'm on the verge of getting like a new, very expensive hobby.
I am one step before that. Like, I've been thinking about it, but like,
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe I should look into Warhammer lore and like not necessarily make it, but just like watch videos about it.
Yeah.
And then like, you know what? I've never done like miniature painting. That could be like kind of fun and relaxing. And then I'm
Yeah,
like,
especially in the
bro,
wintertime.
like, you don't have the time or the money for Warhammer, so I've never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, it is scary because like if you get into that deep, it's very expensive. There's some of those models that cost upwards of like $1,000, $2,000. Yeah, and
So
like
you're telling me
That
I'm
makes-
gonna be making space marine lore videos to fuel a addiction to
I think that's what the
Warhammer.
YouTube channels are. I think the YouTube channels are trying to just like feed money back into this hobby.
True.
That
Which,
makes
look, I
sense.
can relate to.
True.
Yeah, but it seems. But Space Marine. So I replayed Space Marine for the Xbox 360,
Oh.
which is also available on PC, but they're still charging full price for it on PC, like $60 for the anniversary edition. But Space Marine 2 is coming out next month on September 9th. I think there's like an early
is.
access, and
I'm
it
gonna
looks
play it.
awesome. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Looks very fun.
My literally only complaint about it is there's that stupid like extra edition for like 4 days early
Yeah.
access or something. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that, but
everything else looks great.
it really does. It looks fantastic. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen, honestly. Like with all the little tyrannid bugs like rolling up the screen, and then you got to shoot them all. It's like that is unbelievable technology. There's thousands of them, and they're playable.
Yeah, I've
not
seen them
playable
talk
characters,
about
they're
that. That it's not just it's not
just
like
a background.
like a scripted cutscene. They're kind of like actual enemies on the
Yeah.
field when you're watching these Tyranids fly in.
Yeah.
Crawl in.
Oh yeah. That's exciting.
But yeah, that's the addiction that I'm trying to stave off right now.
Well, if you start playing the game, I don't think it's gonna go very well, Briar. You're gonna be like, oh,
You mean the tabletop game or the video game?
the video game.
Video,
I think
well,
that's
yeah,
gonna get
both.
you fully in.
Dude, like
Have
there's
you
books.
played
They've been writing.
Darktide?
Yeah, loved it. Well, I played the Warhammer Classic Darktide. I can't remember what it was called. It's in my Steam library. I didn't play the 40K one because it released with such bad reviews. I didn't play it.
Yeah, it's got a lot better now. It was pretty half baked when it released, but just the general theme of it is outstanding. It was a shame it didn't release like a little bit better, but they've made a lot of changes since then as well. So if you need something to get you to Space Marine 2, like
Yeah.
Darktide's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I want to play Black Myth Wulong before it comes out. Like that's my. I am really looking forward to getting into that. I'm gonna start it tomorrow or Saturday probably.
I'll be starting it tomorrow too. So next podcast,
Nice.
we'll all have been in there. I probably would
all
have
be
finished it by
involved
next
in the Black
podcast.
Myth. Probably right. It's not that long a game, is it? Like 40 hours.
I don't know how
40
how long it is.
hours. Someone was like, I played it for 90 hours because that they were trying to find all of the hidden bosses totally blind. Because
Okay.
there's a lot of hidden bosses.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Yeah.
boss rush, right? It's like a.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, I'm into that
Yep.
though. Like,
Well,
the
Mylan's
bosses are
played
fun.
it, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mylan.
Yeah, I played it from 7 a.m.
Give
to
us your
5 p.m.
thoughts.
on my Wednesday
Wow.
stream because
So you were having a good time?
I was having a good time. And yeah, it's not what I expected. It is like a boss rush mode where there's areas that all the areas look really nice, but it's not the kind of like From Software like complexity of like environmental design where you're gonna like open up shortcuts or not
Yeah.
that I've got to yet. It's more like if you explore an area thoroughly, you'll find like a couple side bosses, and then there'll be like the main path with like the main boss, and then you like progress to the next biome or like kind of area. But it's definitely not a bad thing. Like it's kind of refreshing to like the action is like, oh, another boss. Oh, another boss. Oh, okay, this is the game. Another boss. Like, you have like mini enemies in between, but you will like just be like taking out bosses back to back. And then it's a little bit like God of War with crafting, like craft gear in God of War, and there's like set bonuses and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So you end up like you craft your helmet and you like your chest piece, and you get like different set bonuses for mixing and matching, and there's a couple other mechanics in there to kind of like make builds that might perform better with certain bosses. But yeah, that's like the basic premise of the game. It just a really good looking game, boss
It's
rush mode.
Amazing looking game.
It is
Yeah,
very good
yeah.
looking, yeah. Very
Yeah.
much so.
For how responsive it is, I've been playing on PC, and I only had like there was just one weird boss that just had frame drops with a certain move that they did, and everything else has been pretty buttery smooth. Feels really responsive and feels really cool. It's not at the level of difficulty like with the From Software game either. I keep bringing up From Software because I think a lot of people before it released called it kind of like a Souls-like.
Yeah, and they were like, it's not.
It's not really, no. It has the
But a
elements
lot of the
like,
reviews have been
checkpoints.
saying it is.
So you have a campsite or whatever checkpoint system that then you have to make it to the next boss, but you don't drop your materials or lose your materials or anything like that. And you don't have what else would you have in it from? So like the RPG like stat system, like you're not
stat
leveling up
thing.
stats. It's a lot closer to something like God of War, which is like your armor and upgrading your armor and weapons and then equipping them rather than like leveling up and putting stat points on whatever. And it's also not the level of difficulty either. Like there will definitely be some bosses that are like blockades, and I won't spoil that, but people like as soon as I get to a boss, we're like, oh yeah, I got stuck on this one, and you get stuck on that, and then you kind of like blast through a whole bunch of other mini bosses, and then you probably find another like stumbling block where these like main ones that are a little bit more difficult than everyone else. But yeah. And storytelling is pretty basic. There's some nice environmental storytelling though, like between bosses and like in biomes, they'll have like a little story. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't done it yet. We'll wait till next week. But there's a couple of things you'll notice with a couple bosses of like the order you kill stuff in changes like what happens. So That's kind of
Oh,
fun.
interesting. I do know that there's different endings, so clearly you're doing something to change the ending. And then a lot of people said that if you have no knowledge of the actual Wukong story, you won't fully know what's going on. So a lot of people were
Yes.
saying like they kind of expect you to have some basic knowledge of the Wukong story.
I don't know how that's possible though,
Yeah.
because
So
like that story
yeah.
is like has hit the saturation point, I believe, of like it's been adapted to so many times, like in other ways. Like there's several movies called Journey to the West.
Mm.
There's several like Western adaptions of Journey to the West just called other things. You know, it's like I feel like even like a cursory knowledge of that is you pretty much know what's going on, right?
Well, each it's a little bit like you get lore entries unlocked after you defeat like bosses, so you can kind of read their backstory and they're like their mythology as you go through the game. So if you are interested in that, it's got like a pretty comprehensive
Oh, that's nice.
the
All right, there goes
diary
my
lore entry
playthrough. It's
thing.
gonna be 80 hours reading this.
Yeah, so yeah, if you read everything as you go through, you get a little bit of additional like storytelling. But the storytelling is pretty much like environmentally, like you said, and then relying on a little bit of knowledge of Journey to the West, and then reading these entries. But if you don't do that, you just basically boss rush mode. You just blast through it. It's like quite a lot of action. It's nice.
Oh, good to hear.
There's
I'm
also
excited to start it.
the only other thing is like the skill system is a little bit like Ghost of Tsushima. Like you have different stances that you can equip with different
Mm.
moves.
That's why people were
Um,
saying it's like Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, where are you getting that from? There's no parry. It's not an open world. Like
There's
what?
no parry at all.
yeah,
That
so
makes
you have
sense.
like you have like martial arts stances that change your attacks and like the most basic one is you know how like Monkey Man like gets on the pole and gets off the ground.
Yeah.
So like that's one of your stances and it avoids like low attacks. So like sometimes that might be really advantage for something that's like, you know, attacking really low and you can like get up on your
Mm.
pole and that moves better to use on certain bosses. So you'll work out like different stances that you upgrade and you get different combos with them. So that's probably where the Ghost of Tsushima like reference is coming from.
Can you respec
Probably.
at any time, or are you pretty much just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you can.
You can respec as well. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice. I like that.
There you go. I
Yeah, I'm
highly
looking
excited to
recommend it.
forward to
play
It's
this.
very fun time. And yeah, I didn't know how long it's going to go for. I think if it goes for like 60 hours, that's pretty decent. Someone said
That's
there's like
real good.
72 bosses or something.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of bosses in there, and they all look
So
so
it's
good.
just the only reason not to play it is I think people just need to know it's not your Elden Ring. It's not that kind of level of exploration. It's kind of like mini biomes, and if you explore them, you'll get all your optional bosses and you progress to the next area kind of deal.
Yeah, so don't be put off by being like, "Oh, it's going to be so difficult." Pretty much everyone has said that it's nowhere near like a Souls level. So if you just are a fan of action games, I think
Yeah.
you'll have a good time
Yeah.
with it.
I
Yeah.
am, and
And in
also
fact, like
monkeys.
and monkeys. Yeah. Yeah.
And hitting things
Monkeys.
Oh,
with sticks is not bad either.
do you want me to ruin the game for you? Are you ready?
No, why would you do that?
You know Jumanji?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know the kid the kid when he turns into a monkey?
Yeah.
no, I don't remember it, to be honest.
I do.
Okay, well,
The new
look at
Jumanji
his
or the
face
old
and then
one
look
with
at
Robin
Wukong's
Williams?
face side by side.
I could see it. I already without doing it, I can see that.
Didn't
Yeah.
they remake
Yeah.
Jumanji? Is it the
Yeah.
new one that you're talking about, or the old one
No,
No,
the
the
old
old
one.
original.
with
Original.
Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. I can already see it.
Is that an
'Cause I showed my
Unreal Engine
friend-
5 game? Is that the new Unreal
Yeah.
Engine? It looks so good. Are you playing it on PC or
Runs
PS5?
good too. What's that?
Are you playing on PS5 or PC?
I'm on PC. I'm on
Yeah.
PC. And I think there weren't any review copies for PS5, so everyone was a little
Correct.
bit suspicious.
Yeah, but apparently it's okay.
But yeah, I think if you're on PS5, maybe just
Check out a
check around for
PS5
some
review.
PS5 review. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
okay. I think it's got a performance mode. There's room for improvement, but it seems better than Elden Ring at launch.
Okay, that's good. for a boss rush mode, you kind of needed to perform well.
You really,
otherwise, like-
really do.
Yeah.
You really do.
I wonder if it runs on
Yeah.
Steam Deck. I don't know. I don't know how to play a game like that on Steam Deck, though.
I don't think I would.
No,
The back
I really want
paddles
the
do
big.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got
I've
back
also
paddles
heard a
on
lot
It's
of
such
all my
a
people.
controllers at this
good-looking
point, though.
game.
Yeah.
Such a good-looking game. I think you're better off on your TV or your monitor, really.
Yeah, I'd be ashamed to like drop it down to 640p.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of having like a boss rush game. It's one of the things that I wish that FromSoft would do in their games is just like a boss rush mode that was like accessible after you finish
Yeah,
the game
they
or
did it for
something.
Sekiro. I would love for them to do it with every game, yeah, because
Yeah,
there's so many bosses where I'm like, I would really like to really learn that boss. But
yeah.
then if it's especially if it's a DLC boss, I gotta go all the way through the main game and get back to the DLC again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much fun to
Yeah.
fight some of those bosses. Yeah, it's just a nice. Yeah. Anyway,
No, there was a bit of a hoopla about Wukong.
Oh
what's
yeah,
going
we
on
didn't mention
there?
that.
So there was an email that went out. I have the email in my inbox, so I can't
Mhm.
confirm it's real, although I'm pretty sure everyone confirmed it's real already. And it's basically they contacted you and they're like, would you be interested in a code? Or we've heard you'd be interested in a code. I'm like, yes. And then when they come to give you the code, attached is a document, not really a document, but it is a document that says what you can't talk about when you're playing Wukong. So the first one was just like no like negativity towards influencers or whatever. Don't be an asshole towards
Which
people.
is pretty much standard stuff.
Yeah, that's
Good.
pretty standard. Standard stuff is like no unnecessary negativity. Like you don't want to play a game and be like, who made this? They're stupid. Whatever. You can be like, I don't really enjoy this mechanic in the game, but they don't want you just needlessly bad mouthing. But
I'm
then it
out.
got to stuff like don't talk about politics, like okay, no, but and then it says no, specifically feminist propaganda.
What exactly do
What
they
does
mean by
I
that?
don't know.
No, I don't know what it means. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what feminist propaganda can actually be. I'm actually not sure.
Do you know what? So I was the same until I played it, and then this is not really a spoiler. There is one boss that's a bear, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is like
The
what
bear?
they. Yeah, I was like, I
I
wonder
don't
if this is
think
a
so.
reference to the whole like
That's
the
crazy.
bear guy in the forest thing. But who
Oh.
knows?
I don't know. But then there was like don't talk about COVID. Don't talk about
Yeah.
COVID. Don't talk about quarantine. And then they said don't talk about China's game policies.
So
and
this
stuff
is
like
coming
that.
from China.
Yeah.
China. Like this is coming from the government.
Well, I don't know. I think so.
No, well, there's other.
I don't think so.
There's other. I mean, we've been playing. Well, we had this conversation the week before, which is like we're actually playing a couple games that are from Chinese developers, like Once Human, Delta Force. I mean,
Delta
none of
Force,
them
yeah.
have had
Mecha Break.
this Mecha Break. None of
No.
them have had the same kind of rules enforced.
This one's
So
way
it
higher
does-
profile though. This is one of the heaviest wish listed games on Steam.
That's true. That's true.
So
And those other
I
games
think
I've never heard of.
there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things. So the first thing is many years ago, I talked about it when it first happened. There was reports of the CEO of Game Science being misogynistic or sexist. However, when I was talking about it on Twitter, someone who actually speaks Chinese came to me and said, the translations are not super accurate. It's more so being extremely vulgar, but we wouldn't say that it's being like sexist. So I was like, oh, okay, nice. Good to hear from someone who actually speaks Chinese.
So do you think this
And
was
then-
to check him, like to protect him a little bit? Like,
Well, I can keep going and then you
Sorry.
can see what you think. And then recently it kicked up again where IGN translated it. And that's when it became a whole big thing of being like IGN's trying to cancel Wukong. And a lot of people were saying that's not actually what's happening. And then recently there was a Chinese woman who made a video about it and she gave a lot of insight into what was being said. So she said this whole long thing about how it started to become a selling point for games that women were playing their game because they were trying to like not many women played their game and then all of a sudden a lot of women were playing and companies would actually use the fact that women played their game to get people to buy the game and play the game. So she was like it's totally out of context culturally, and when you have it in context culturally, it's vulgar what he's saying, but you wouldn't say that it's sexist. So I was happy with the explanation that the Chinese person who actually responded to me gave, but it did happen all over again because apparently people didn't know. You guys aren't paying attention.
No, I'm
Um,
not.
but yeah, so I don't know why it's basically I think a lot of the stuff in there was trying to not get you to talk about things that would cause negative discourse or
Yeah,
like
and drama.
problematic discourse. And then the COVID thing, you know, it was known as the China virus for a long time.
Yeah.
So they probably just
Yeah.
don't want you talking about that in relation to China. But my thing is, I actually don't care what they say. I think it is weird for a game company to try and police what you talk about, like especially on your stream.
Especially when
right?
it's not related to the game.
Right. It's because if someone comes in chat and
Yeah.
they're like, I got COVID, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you got COVID. I hope you feel better. That's
Yeah.
technically me breaking the rules. So I just am not okay with a game company trying to censor me whether I'm talking about the game or not talking about the game. I wouldn't want a game company to say you can have this code only if you speak positively about the game. And I also wouldn't want them to say you can have this code as long as you don't talk about COVID.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much in the realm of okay, I will buy the game myself now. You know,
Yeah,
it would have been
yeah.
nice to save $80 or whatever it is, but it's obviously like for most, it's not worth
And it kind
having those
of
restrictions.
backfired
you can say.
because Moon, who was the biggest Wukong streamer when it came out, he was the top streamer on the directory. His title was like COVID-19 feminism is great, and he's got like the Chinese politicians on his screen and like LOL COVID everywhere. So pretty funny.
Exactly.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was great.
Like
It
if
was
you
really
don't
funny.
want people to talk about something, then probably don't say it.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Emperor said it. It said feminist propaganda, COVID Winnie the Pooh fetish. That was the title of his stream. So yeah, just and I think we're gonna see a lot of this with more Chinese companies working with Western companies because Genshin had some real crazy stuff for their creators. They were like, you can't play another game except Genshin unless you have like 2 days off of playing Genshin.
What?
Like,
What?
well, because you think about China, right? And China does
Very,
have a
like,
lot of
police.
censorship. Like they do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of censorship. So I think it's going to be growing pains with working with a Western audience, and I think we'll probably see some more of this as that happens. Because
So
more
is
and more
that how
Chinese
we
games are
lost
being made.
MTash?
That's why I
MTash
stopped
signed
playing
a
Destiny. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of growing pains, I suspect. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy. You guys, so to try and show you how crazy censorship is, there was a VTuber who was going through her YouTube analytics. And you know, in the analytics, it says like your top countries. Taiwan was one of those countries. But because she showed Taiwan, she had to apologize to China and
No.
had to go on a 2-week break as a punishment.
No.
Where did she live?
Japan. But because Chinese people and the government were so offended by it, they were like, we need to squash this right now. So that's
No.
that's what it's like.
Why did she
Yeah, I
took
don't
a
understand
break?
why she needed to take a break. She's not in China.
As punishment.
From who?
Yeah, but did she do it to like maintain relationships, or was she like, no, I'm not doing that. I live in Japan.
Well, it was her company that told her she had to do it.
Oh,
She's not with that
okay, she was
company anymore.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah.
The
They
almighty
don't
dollar
wanna rock
Okay.
the boat
speaks up.
with they don't
Yeah.
want to rock the boat with Chinese relations, so yeah, that's the kind of censorship we're talking about, right? So when you see
Yeah.
stuff like this pop up, you're gonna be like, yeah, you guys, if you want to work with Western
Yeah.
audiences like that, maybe have to chill
You
a
know
little
what
bit.
scares me is like if I do content on a game like this, and imagine like going to China, like, nah, I'll be right. I'm not gonna go to China because I can't remember if I said shit about China, and I really don't want to arrive at the airport and get like arrested.
I definitely said shit about China sometime on this podcast. It's hard to imagine.
I'm
I
going
didn't
straight to
spread some
jail.
shit
Like-
over that direction.
I appreciate the invite to your development studio, but I'll sit this one out.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things, Wukong is actually really exciting because for a long time, the Chinese game market has been people making like copies of really popular games or just like really crappy mobile games, just pumping them out,
Sure.
pumping them out.
Yeah.
Money, money, money. Mobile games make a ton of money. But now having a game this high profile that had 2.5 million players on Steam is huge for other people in China who want to try and get the funds to make games like that. Because now they actually have a case where they can say, look at Wukong. This is
Yeah.
a single player action story game. And look how well they did. So I think I'm really excited because we started seeing more and more interesting games coming from China. Like we have Phantom Blade Zero coming out. Wukong was one. There was a bunch of stuff as part of the China Joy project. And this is exciting for the industry because clearly they have some very talented people over there, and now hopefully they can make what they want. Kind of saw something similar with Stellar Blade too. Like with Stellar Blade, it was like I want to make a single player action game, but those kind of games just don't tend to do as well in that part of the world, right? It's all about being on the go and being able to play while you're on the train and stuff. So seeing these games in Asia getting popular and doing really well is good news for us.
Yeah.
Good news.
Yeah, and a different perspective
As long as we don't sign any
too.
contracts and go to China.
It's like the storytelling is a different perspective, you know, like it
Yeah.
looks different than a Western developed game or even like many Japanese developed games. It just has a different like look to it, which is always refreshing.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I really can't wait to bust into this one. I'm a little bit bummed that the physical copy for the PS5 didn't come out at launch. It's rumored to be coming out in September. I don't think I'm gonna wait for it. I think I'm just gonna buy I think I'm just gonna buy the PC version.
Yeah.
But I was a little bummed that it didn't come out physical.
Yeah,
right
because
off the bat.
surely there's going to be a figurine or a art book or something. This feels like the kind of game that should have an art book that comes with it. You know, like a super uber collector's edition, physical copy, art book, Wukong figurine. Seems like that would like sell really well.
Yeah, that would be cool. I try not to buy that stuff. 'Cause it just ends up in boxes.
I am running out of space. Yeah. I have to think now I have this in the back. I'm like, I have to think about what can I put back there? And if I can't put it back there, I can't get it. Unless it's something like really, really important to me. Yeah. That's how I deal with it.
Watts, you had a special trip this week.
Yeah.
Oh boy, did I.
Where'd you go?
So I was invited to San Francisco to go to the Capcom office
Get a little
and
of that
play
San Francisco treat. Rice-a-roni?
Oh, I thought it was like drugs.
Oh, that too.
No,
I'm not judging.
Yeah, to play Monster Hunter Wild. So I flew on. I'll tell you the whole story. It was Gamescom. Gamescom opening night live was happening at 11 a.m. my time. My flight, I had to leave at 1:30. Opening night live ended at 1. So I was like, could I watch opening night live before I go? We did, but it was a bit of a rush. It was a little stressful. Don't recommend doing it.
How close are you to the airport?
Well, with traffic, it was like an hour.
Okay.
You watch it at home or in the airport?
At home. We streamed it.
You're a psycho. You can't do that. You got to leave at 1:30.
They were showing a new Monster Hunter trailer, Mylan. I have to watch it with people.
My anxiety would be too high.
You can stream from on your phone now, Watts.
How am I going to stream me watching the opening night live on my phone?
I don't know.
That seems difficult. That seems difficult. It was a little stressful. Yeah, I basically got there and had like 40 minutes till the plane was boarding to go through security and everything. Yeah, it was a little tight.
It's like old school before you
but
have to take your shoes off at the airport.
Out. Look at me.
Hold on, what?
Yeah.
You have one hand. You have watching Monster Hunter, right? Wherever the reveal was on the was it Gamescom?
It was crazy. It was amazing.
Yeah, but the other hand is going to play it. It's like if you miss your play.
You have a good point, but it worked out.
It worked out. Okay.
So I got there. I went to dinner. Realized there's only 3 other people here. I was like,
"Oh wow,
wow, okay." 3 other people were, besides me, were invited to be the first people in the U.S. to play Monster Hunter Wilds.
Sick.
Pretty
Really?
scary. Yeah. I was like, they may have
Are
got
you
the wrong
famous?
person.
Did you take the other ones
I'm not gonna
out so you
question
would
it.
get the exclusive?
Yeah, once is corrupting all their hard drives so they
Yeah.
lose all their footage.
She's like walking by with magnets. This is an SSD, Watts.
Nope. Mm. Yeah, so
Sorry,
had dinner.
who were the
Yes.
other people?
Fighting Cowboy was there. You
Yep.
guys might know
Oh,
Fighting Cowboy.
Absolutely.
Vampy, if you watched she does a lot of hosting. So if you watch like the Armored Core multiplayer stream, she hosted that. I think that was one of the most recent ones. But she's awesome. And then the other person was Super Rad Lemon, who
Okay.
makes some really good videos. So yeah, they were there, got introduced to them, and people from Capcom talked about cannibalism. Not my
That's
fault this
weird.
time. Not my fault. Wasn't my fault. I was talking to one
Trouble
of the
just
people.
seems to find me. I don't know.
I was talking to one of the people who work at Capcom, and she was saying that she recommended me a book, and it's about a cannibal. So that's how it came up. It wasn't me this time. It was her fault. And then I just mentioned that we talk about cannibalism sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
So I explained why that happens. Yeah.
You're like, I've got a friend that would really like this book.
And then the next day, I had to get up at 6 a.m. Oh, I didn't have to, but I wanted to not be late because I was checking out of the hotel, right? I was checking out of the hotel, so I needed to pack, get ready, like take a shower, do all of
Oh.
that stuff, eat, do everything before I had to go. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get up at 6, so I'm not gonna be late. Impossible.
Yeah.
That was I remember when we well, I'm sure you had the same thing. Oh, you live where Bungie is. When I went to Bungie, I was like the only content creator that got to have an extra night in there just because of the Aussie flights. And everyone else was like checking out and then going to the event,
Going
which
to
just like
Bungie, yeah.
So you got to bring all your
Yeah,
luggage with you.
You
yeah,
do,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to bring everything with you.
Which is
So
fair because obviously
it's
they
fine.
pay for your flights and they pay for your
Yeah.
hotels and stuff
Yeah.
They
like
pay
that.
for
So
everything. Yeah.
yeah.
So I got up at 6 and got to Capcom at 9. And that's when they let us in and talked about what we were going to do, signed some NDAs. And then we got to play Monster Hunter Wilds.
Nice.
But we got to play for about 90 minutes. So there were other things that we were there to capture as well. But all
It's
of us
not
who
enough.
were there, all of us who were there were like, I don't want to capture the other things. Because I'm not going to make content on the other things. So
Interesting.
Can you tell us what the other things are, or is that NDA stuff?
I don't think I can until Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got to play 90 minutes. Basically, they set us up with, it's kind of like a story mission. It's like 6 minutes of cutscenes. I skipped all of them because I'm like, I don't want to watch the cutscenes when I can't record it. So I'm just spoiling it for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, because they always do like they always do like no recording or like no story or lore spoilers. So it's like, well, fucking, why am I watching it then?
Yeah.
Don't show me.
Cowboy's the same. He was like, he got invited to play Elden Ring early, and they wouldn't let him capture any of the cutscene stuff. And he's like, I don't want to see it then. I want to watch it when it's out with my community. It's fun. So I skipped all of that. Luckily, you can skip all the cutscenes, so I skipped all of those.
Thank God.
And the first mission is actually really cool for new players. I'm actually very excited. So the new handler, her name's Alma. She asks you some questions to try and figure out which weapon you will like. So it's like multiple choice. You pick answers to her questions, and then she recommends a weapon for you. Which is really cool.
She's the blonde.
It's like a
is she the
Vogue
blonde
quiz
chick?
on like how to meet a guy.
No. She's the brown-haired girl.
All
I think
right.
she has glasses. Yeah, the blonde-haired lady is the blacksmith.
Oh, okay.
So you go there, you talk to her. She gives you a recommendation of a weapon.
Did you
and
answer the
then-
questions?
I did.
What did she
That's
recommend
how you get to start. Well, I went with the ones that end up with bow.
Okay. So you kind of Steered your way.
I was
to a
like,
buff.
I know what's gonna be Bo. Like,
Do
do you want to be
like
at
shooting
range?
things?
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Yes,
first
I do.
question, it's like,
Yes.
I didn't even read the others, but the question was like, do you like being ranged? I'm like, well, Bo is ranged, so let's pick yes. And then the other one was, do you like being super close to monsters and like maneuvering your way around their attacks? So it's like, that sounds like Bo. So I went with that. We got Bo. And then it starts you out with so yeah, you get to actually be in the town. I didn't want to spoil it for myself again because I can't capture it. So
You can't capture the
um,
town either.
you couldn't capture it. No, you could play
Okay.
it, but you couldn't capture it. So there's no like big towns anymore in Monster Hunter Wilds. Each biome has like a mini town where
Oh,
they'll
that's
have like a
interesting.
blacksmith and stores and stuff.
Right.
And this town is famous for cheese. So you can buy cheese.
Oh, it's like Lindbergh. It's like Wisconsin.
They're famous for cheese. So you can buy cheese. So when you cook for yourself, you can use cheese in your cooking.
That's kind of cool.
Uh,
Does that make
it
a
is
big
cool.
difference, like gameplay wise? Because you're not like going back and forth to town. Are you like
Yeah.
seamlessly just walking in, or do you
You
warp there?
are. Yeah. So
Ooh.
it starts with like they tell you, you pick your weapon, you can cook some stuff or whatever, change your equipment, and then you just walk out of the town and then you're just there in the wilds running around. So it's all seamless. There's no loading screens for anything. And
Cool.
you can also set up camps in the open world. So you can cook there and change your equipment and all that stuff. You can just set them up. Your palicos come and like
Kind of
build.
anywhere, or are there specific
I
camp
think
locations?
there's recommended spots, and
Okay.
then it will also tell you how dangerous it is. So if you're in an area that is like the habitat of a monster, it will be like it's dangerous, and they will destroy it eventually. So that was really cool. Cooking is really cool because it actually changes the animation based on what ingredients you pick. So if you do like a meat-based one, it will be like a steak. If you do vegetables, it'll be like a cabbage,
Oh,
it's
that's
fish.
nice.
Okay,
It
that's fun.
changes every single time. We're like,
Because
finally, yeah.
yeah, because as a first when I first played Monster Hunter, I was like, all right, veggie dish, and it's like whack, like a big leg of lamb. Like,
Yep.
all right, that must be Italian. They're like, I don't.
Yeah. Finally, when you pick vegetable, there's vegetables, and when you pick fish, there's fish. It's
I
great.
always enjoyed those animations, especially in Wilds, because they're
They're
just
so
so over the
good.
top. Not
Yeah,
Wild,
no.
especially in World.
Yeah,
Over the
there's
top.
there's gonna be we've seen at least like three or four different animations for cooking, so there's gonna be a lot there.
Great.
The first hunt was hunting Chupacabra. He's like the frog guy, the big
Mhm.
frog man. If you've seen previews, so we got to hunt him. Apparently, I had the fastest time anyone's seen so far.
World record.
Ooh.
World record.
Nice.
Until people played at Gamescom, probably, and beat me. But in terms
So
of
do
like
you
press and influencers, the fastest.
All right,
do
United
you
States record.
track them all the same, like with the Firefly, and like follow the footprints kind
Yeah.
of deal?
So the way that it works is if you have already like met the monster, you can have it's called secret, which is your mount. You can just auto track it. You can also manually control it, but you can put it on auto so you can like look at the map, you can look at your equipment, look at your items while it's
So it's
tracking there.
like Witcher, like Roach in The Witcher. He just kind of like rides the pathway to your.
Yeah,
Is that what you
and you
mean?
see the fireflies go out and it will just auto go there if you want it
Right.
to.
So you select it, and then you just jump on your mount, and then
It'll take you there.
you you could go get a cup of coffee. Hopefully, come back and
Get the you
not
come
be
back,
mid
you're
combat.
dead.
Squish.
But so I don't fully know how like tracking and stuff works, but I did see like a footprint on the floor that I could interact with. So there's some kind of tracking going on. And I do know that the mount won't auto go to places if you've never seen a monster before, like you're gonna have to
Right.
find them. So that is still kind of there. So yeah, we
Okay.
hunted that guy, and then the one that I could actually record is hunting Doshiguma, which looks like a dog lion guy.
Oh, that was in a lot of the promo stuff, right?
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the hunt that we were doing, and we just started at like a kind of a base camp, again, left seamlessly and went and hunted that guy. And it's from watching it, I was like, it's probably gonna be mostly like World, but it's pretty different.
Is it?
Like there's so much more to interact with in the world. Like there's trees that you can pull down to create traps. Because you can use your hook slinger to interact with things from pretty far away.
What'd you call me?
Can like you can like grab vines, you can grab herbs, you can grab buffs on the field, you can grab all of it from pretty far away, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So it's really interactable. Very, very
Did
interactable.
the area, I mean, obviously in like a starter area, did it feel like similar size to
No.
World or bigger?
Huge.
Really?
Really? Even the starter area?
Humongous. Huge. Yeah, so this
Sweet.
is the desert biome. And after we
Right.
finished hunting Doshiguma, we
Well,
were
I guess you got a
allowed
mount, right? So it
we got a
needs to be
mount.
bigger.
Yeah.
So
And
you need to
there's
get
a 3D map.
Interesting.
Oh, I did hear about that.
There's a 3D map.
Because
Yeah.
I did struggle with that in
Yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah,
Like,
so did
They
I.
literally said we did the 3D map because people were getting lost in the ancient forest.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's fair.
So there's a 3D map now. So like for example, after I finished fighting Doshiguma, they were like, you can just go do whatever with the rest of the time that you have until they cut you off. So I was like, okay, well I've already fought Chatakabra. I've just fought Doshiguma. I want to go hunt the worm boy, which is Balahara. And I got to kind of see it on the map because you could see he was underground. So I could see the
Right.
3D map there. Oh, also, when you look for monsters to hunt, there was like 4 Chatakabras on the map. So this will tell you how big the map is. It was
Oh,
like
so not just like
3
one. Yeah.
Doshigumas. Yeah, normally in other monster hunters, it's like there's one of this monster, one of this monster, one of this monster. You would never find
Yeah.
like 4 Doshigumas on the map. So it's very big. Very, very, very large.
Did they give
Yeah.
this a release date yet? It's 2025. They haven't
No.
said when, right?
2025. I'm guessing February.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be Q1, and with how much they're like, they've done all of these weapon previews, they're streaming from Gamescom every single day. They have people playing it at Gamescom. So they got to be pretty confident in it to just like let the public loose on their demo.
Yeah. Sounds like they're polishing everything now, right?
Yeah. It's really, really good.
I
And
wonder
Bo has
when-
changed
I
a
had-
lot.
How
I
do
put
they
out a
imagine they're
19
gonna
minute
have.
put
I'm
out a
sorry,
19-minute
everybody's
video.
talking.
Yeah.
I imagine they're gonna have another public demo, right? I wonder.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Wonder when that will be, because I
People
feel like
are
that did a lot of good
guessing-
for a world.
Yeah, especially, and I think you'd be able to play what I did, so you would have that intro for new players, like with the questions to pick a weapon, which would be really nice for people to get them
Yeah.
in. I assume it would be similar. I put out a almost 20-minute video about Bo.
Nice.
So it feels
Yeah.
good. You happy with how Bo feels?
I'm really, really happy. They changed a lot. They changed a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of new additions to the Bow. And Fighting Cowboy was like, so we're only allowed to show 20 minutes of our footage in general. We can use the same 20 minutes for other stuff, but it's got to just be the same 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
He was like,
That's weird.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 20 minutes of footage because the insect glaive had changed so much that he was trying to do a bunch of combos and it just wasn't the same.
Oh, interesting. That's good
It's
though.
quite
I'm glad to hear that because, like, I mean, you played so much Monster Hunter World, but I played a good bit, and like,
Yeah.
I want to be learning new stuff here. Like, I don't want to be just doing the same thing to
Yeah.
different monsters.
The best way I can describe it for Bo at least, and I think it's probably the same for a lot of the weapons that at least got a lot of new additions, is it'll feel very familiar with just like regular attacking, but the intricacies of adding the new moves and how you use them together, there's like a lot there to learn to put it together. So I've been thinking about how to put all of the things together, and I'm like, I don't know. I need more time. I need more time with it. I need to practice.
I'm
I
gonna
need more
have to
time.
watch
Wasn't enough
that
time.
Monster Hunter
Did you-
movie just to get in the mood again. You know? Get-
Oh, I never saw that. Is
Yeah.
that any good?
no.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, unfortunately not. At least you got to see like big monsters in
Yeah.
live action, I guess.
Yeah, it's after you watch it. He said that was the good part. Is like he got to see like some of the big monsters on screen, and that was cool.
So
Yeah.
were you able to change your weapons easily? Did anyone change and try to like experiment with a bunch of, you guess you didn't really have enough time.
That
Like,
was
did you
the
just stay
thing.
home?
Yeah. So I kind of saw this with everyone who has had access to it and was able to record. We're like, we only have basically one hunt that we can record. And we only have like 90 minutes total with the game. So I think a lot of people have focused on the thing they know the most about so that they can kind of try and show what exactly is going on. Because yeah, I think we all went into it expecting to play a bunch of different weapons, but no one did. You can do two, because like you have a second weapon with you that you can switch to when you get on
Right.
the mount. So you could do that and kind of mess around a little bit. But I was like,
Oh,
I
so
need
is
to
that
understand.
is the second weapon your mount weapon? Is it?
Well, you switch to it when you're on the mount, but you can use it off
Oh,
the mount.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like having storage with you or whatever. You can
Yeah.
switch if with the mount. Right.
And it kind of is
So you-
storage because like your handler will pick up items and put it in your mount's pouch, and then you can get on the pouch and like pull the item out.
Nobody's
if you
sticking
want.
anything in my mount's pouch.
Well, she's going to, Brian. You can't stop her. You cannot. I don't think you can leave her behind. I
That
think
is sexual
you're
harassment.
stuck.
We got a problem.
That
Yeah.
sounds cool. Every time I hear more talk of Monster Hunter, I'm like, I need to go back and play Worlds again. I need to go play Monster
Right?
Hunter World again.
I was actually looking
Wait.
at it in my Steam library. I'm like, man, this would be. I should install this again and just play a little bit more. It does it run on Steam Deck? Does World run on Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I
It
should
runs
do,
really
probably.
well.
And I might need to do the texture pack too, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
grab
there
the
like a
texture pack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
80 gig texture pack? I didn't have enough room in
It's
my
pretty
hard drive.
large. Yeah. It does make a difference. I think even without it, like it still looks good, especially for 2018. But
Yeah.
with the texture pack, it like holds up to things coming out now.
Is this one coming out day to date on PC? Because that really was a mess with the PlayStation 4, like at 30 FPS, and then the PC came out and like, but it was like a year behind for all the DLC and everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that's going away.
Okay, so it is coming out day to date. Did they solve that with the Switch version and not the Switch version?
No.
So that one was a year later too on PC?
They actually never planned on bringing it out on anything but Switch.
Yeah.
Because that's like their portable Monster Hunter team. It's a different team making it.
Yeah.
But because people really wanted to play it, that they brought it to different stuff.
Mm-hmm. What was
So
that one called again? I forgot.
Rise.
Rise.
It's in the
thank you.
title of the podcast.
It is?
People
Wild.
were saying it as Rise preview or something.
Wild preview. Did I put it wrong?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'll fix that real quick.
It's fine. Yeah, it's and also Monster Hunter Wilds has defeated gender.
Wow. Applause.
As
How'd
what?
they do that?
So normally you have like a male character and a female character, and you can wear like female Rathalos armor if you're a female. You can wear male Rathalos armor if you're a male. Well, now you can just pick to wear whatever you want.
Can you
So
mix
it
and match?
basically-
Like do like female
Yeah.
legs and male shoulders?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get that
It
80s
basically
like big
doubles
padded
your
shoulder
fashion.
look. Yeah, that's
Doubles
Yeah.
your fashion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What
And
are
all
I'm
of this-
going with whoever's got the biggest dumpy.
Mm.
You could probably
Good
probably
move.
adjust that. We don't know what character creator looks like, but I'm assuming you could adjust that. The memes have been really funny because it's been like men when Wilds comes out and it's just a picture of lingerie, and it's like women, it's full armor, and like pulling up to slay some monsters, and it's a picture of someone in lingerie. Yeah, it's great.
I like to move
double the amount of
freely.
fashion. I kind of got to experiment with it a little bit because you could pick your armor when you were in the camp between like the Doshiguma armor, the Chatakabra armor, the base armor, and the Balahara armor. So I did a mix and match of like all the different armors, but also the male and female versions.
So did
Very,
you get to
very
see-
fun.
Can you talk about anything in the hub world? Did you see like the crafting and the armor and stuff, or you can't talk
I
about
haven't
those bits?
seen it. I haven't seen it at
Right.
all. The one thing I can say is weapons have skills now. So skills like Slugger, Stamina Surge, any of your skills that normally came on your armor or with decorations, your weapon will have
Oh.
a skill. So that's kind of how they're dealing with the like if you're switching weapons. So for example, you wouldn't want like a bow skill on your armor if you're switching to sword and shield. So that skill is on your bow.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's like, why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we think that they would do that?
But does that mean there's more and different armor skills then?
I've only seen basic ones that we've seen before.
Right.
So yeah, there hasn't been anything like crazy new that I saw there at least. Um, yeah, they're doing a lot of really, really cool stuff. A lot of freedom.
Can't
You
wait.
can it's gonna be incredible. I need
I
the
can't wait
public
for this
demo.
game.
That's all we need. We need the public demo. I hope they're doing one. I'm just assuming they are.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I feel like that demo was so successful for Wilds. Like, it was so successful because there's so many people that got swept up in that demo, and then I don't know. Like, that game was so good. It was such a expansion from what they had been doing on the DS for all those years. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And this one's gonna be crazy. Coming out on everything with crossplay. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
There's I
Crossplay too.
there's
That's
just
great news.
yeah, crossplay. Gonna be able to play with everybody no matter what.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
wonder if
that
the
was the
Switch 2 will
only
be
reason
released
I
by
put
then or be
Worlds
announced
down.
by then.
Sorry, go again, bro.
You can go ahead. Would you say you put Worlds down because?
Oh no,
there's
I was just gonna say
crossplay?
the only reason I put Worlds down is like it came out on PC and I'd already started playing on PlayStation, and I was like, I don't want to start again, kind of deal. And then I kind of lost a
Yeah.
bit of interest in it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I did kind of the same thing. I played all the way through it on PlayStation. I did play all the way through it on PC, but I just couldn't like do the grind again on PC. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But they did announce that you'll get like special rewards if they see that you have a save for
Yeah.
what
For World and
Worlds
Iceborne.
and Iceborne.
Yeah. And it's pretty
Oh, better
cute.
get the
Like
plane.
the Palico equipment is pretty freaking cute.
Hey,
It's pretty cute. I want it.
Palicos are like
that.
the thing that I think I was least interested in before I started playing, but I fell in love with the
Yeah.
most after I started playing. Like it's
Yeah, it's
just
weird, isn't it?
not something I would be interested in. I don't care, and then I loved. You know.
And they can talk like human language in WoW.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
right.
about
Yeah.
that.
Well, so you can change it to meows if you want, but what they will do is so they'll tell you about the weather changing because by the way, all biomes have 3 different states that they're in, so it's
Mhm.
basically like 3 different biomes. So when the weather, the only one we know of is the desert area. When it gets stormy, a new monster shows up and it gets really dangerous because lightning can hit you and it can also hit the monster. So it
That's
changes
cool.
a lot of things. So the Palico will like let you know that the weather is changing, but they'll also say something like, "Hey, ugly, look at me," or "Get a load of these claws."
Mm-hmm.
They talk crap to the monsters, which is
Interesting.
makes me very happy. It makes me very, very happy.
I don't
That's
know.
what
My
I wanted.
headcanon for Palico voices that was pretty strict. I don't know if I could break that.
Yeah. Can I give him an Australian accent?
You can't choose their voice. I don't know what accents you have access to.
Oi.
Maybe I wonder if I wonder if they'll expand it if people like really end up liking it. If they'll expand the Palico voice options. I wouldn't
Interesting.
be surprised if there's less options for their first time doing it in case people
True.
end up not using it.
Not using it.
True.
Yeah. It's so
I also saw
exciting.
that you took a picture with Chun-Li. That was very exciting.
I did. Yep. She's right at the entrance of Capcom. She's
Yeah.
standing there right at the
Welcoming
entrance.
you in.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Was there any other cool stuff there that like?
Oh, they have so
for
much
being
cool
there?
stuff. They have like full size greatsword of Pickle. So he's there. And also they've got his dual blades. So they've got a bunch of weapons and lots of statues, plushies. Yeah, the Capcom office is really, really cool.
Yeah, they got a lot of IP over there that,
They do.
I mean, going back many, many years, 30, 40 years.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible actually. And
Yeah, cool
they're
shit.
flourishing now.
Yeah, they really are. They're really in their kind of like new golden age. They just announced what was it? The Marvel vs. Capcom
Marvel
collection.
vs. Capcom. Yeah.
Which is very exciting. I think that's coming out. Is that coming out soon? Is it September maybe?
I think it's soon.
Or am I just making
I don't
shit
know
up?
exactly when. I feel like it's soon.
Any arcade
I think
cabinets?
They do have arcade cabinets.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to spend like a couple of days there. It's too bad you're only there for like You know, like
I
damn.
was there for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got in an Uber with Cowboy and we went to the airport.
Yeah. That was Cowboy. Nice guy.
He's amazing. Like such
Good.
a nice person.
Yeah.
This is my first time using this specific capture card, and it's the one that everyone takes with them to these events.
What do you take with you?
So the Ava Media Portable.
Okay. Right.
Because for context, if for those of you who don't know, because I don't know why you would if you're not traveling to capture footage, it just needs a micro SD card. So you don't need a laptop at all. So you don't have to faff around with a bunch of other stuff. You can just like plug it into there. Boom, you're good.
What?
So everyone
So
just
you
uses that.
just record straight onto it.
Straight onto it. Yeah.
You don't need to have a laptop with an Elgato
No.
fucking software, press record, and then it gets corrupted because it's trying
Yeah, no. It's really,
Elgato,
really
man.
nice.
You
Yeah,
know how much
honestly.
trouble I've had
Elgato's-
with Elgato over the years.
I've had
Like,
so much.
not an ad for AverMedia, but fuck Elgato.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. You just have to you press a button on the actual thing. It's really small, it records it, and then boom, there you
See,
go.
I would kind of be like paranoid if it was like working, probably not being able to see a
You
preview
see,
of
I
the recording.
was, but so I brought an SD card reader, and I bought one that can go into my iPad. So I just had a really small iPad. I plugged it in there, double checked that the audio was there and it was recording, and
God,
there we
living in
go.
the future. Amazing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Easy
Easy
peasy.
peasy. Easy peasy.
If,
I think I would
if
need
it
a new
wasn't there, you'd be like
iPad.
knocking a door. Please, my footage.
I
Let me
need
back in.
another
Let me
one.
back.
They did. Cowboy also made sure that he's like, can we have a period to just test the recording? Because they didn't want us to record the first part. We're like, can we just record like literally 30 seconds to make sure it works? And can there be a period after we're done to check everything's good? So he was making sure that everyone was good. He's really, really,
Nice.
really nice. It's like a
Yeah.
really, really nice person. All of them, all the people who are at Capcom, and all the people visiting were just super nice people.
Glad to hear it.
It was wonderful.
Nice.
I'm gonna play it again at PAX.
Awesome. When's PAX? It's the next month? Or is it October?
No, it's in next week. At the
Oh,
end
it's
of
next
next week is when it starts. I'm gonna be there September 2nd, and they're doing a panel with the producer of Monster Hunter, and they have it playable there too.
Nice. Oh, hell yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Dude, they got, I mean, they're going to release this demo. Definitely. That they're letting everybody play.
They're
must be.
taking it on the road. Yeah, it's going to PAX. It's going to TwitchCon, but unfortunately, you can only play it at TwitchCon if you have an appointment. So I think that's like a creator thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they just didn't have the space or the booth or whatever to do a full playable thing, or they're like, you're not doing that here because the whole convention is just going to be people in line to play Wilds, which is what it currently is at Gamescom. Like the whole floor is just people queuing to play Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, man. That's.
But
we
if
haven't talked about Gamescom.
If you're thirsty for more Monster Hunter news, they are live streaming from Gamescom, both with the developers and with different creators, like every day. So there's a bunch of stuff out there now.
Awesome.
Gamescom. I did. Oh, Borderlands 4?
Gamescom.
That was announced.
Yeah, man. I can't believe how uninterested I am in that.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't show
Do we
anything.
know anything
They just
about
showed
it?
no, they just showed
No.
like a title basically. But I don't know. There's something about Borderlands 3 that really turned me off. And then the movie came out, and I don't know. Like my Borderlands interest is at an all-time low right now.
I had a decent time playing through playing through Borderlands 3. Like it was fine. I wasn't having the time of my life, but I was
Yeah.
having enough fun. But I think, yeah, because I wasn't having the time of my life, I'm now like, if there's nothing going on, I'll play it. And,
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll have fun with it, but I'm not going to put it before other stuff.
I think that humor of Borderlands had just worn out its welcome for me. And it was sad because the shooting had never been better. Like the gameplay, I felt like had
was
never
great.
been better. But
Yeah.
the humor and that kind of style that they go for in that had just kind of worn out its welcome for me. And I felt like it was just grating, like kind of halfway through the game. I think I finished it,
wasn't
but
great.
it wasn't
Yeah,
great.
it wasn't great. The biggest Borderlands lovers were like,
Yeah.
oh boy. And that was kind of their time to really pop off because obviously Borderlands is a very popular franchise.
Yeah, very.
But 3 was like the one that a lot of people were jumping into for the first time because people had gotten interested in Destiny. It's a looter shooter. Like Borderlands is the looter shooter. So that it got a lot of attention on it. So it's unfortunate that the story didn't hold up
Yeah.
because they do make good games.
A lot of people are excited about the Black Ops 6 trailer too. And they showed the single player like campaign trailer.
They did show that.
was
Yeah.
surprised at how many people are excited about that.
I've been so checked out of Call of Duty since like Advanced Warfare that
Yeah.
I'm like, if there's a free demo, I'll give it a try. Give a beta a try, but I'm not expecting Call of Duty to do anything for me these days. There's
Yeah, I
Omni
haven't seen
movement.
that.
It doesn't look like COD because there's Omni movement.
Oh, this is the Omni movement one.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about the
Mhm.
Omni movement.
Omni
Right.
movement. People are very
I
excited for zombies though. Like zombies looks like it's kind of returning to
Oh, are they bringing it back?
form. Yeah.
Dune Awakening. A lot of people have been talking about. It's gonna be. Is it an MMO? MMO?
It is an MMO.
Okay.
Mylan's excited for this one. I was wondering what Mylan thought about it because I thought graphically it looked kind of crap.
Oh, really? No, I'm excited. I'm excited
Which I was
for
like,
it.
it's an MMO. I don't care that much, but it was like
Yeah.
surprisingly terrible looking
So
graphically.
I'm in the kind of the category that I've had so much fun with Once Human. If this
Yeah.
is kind of a more polished Once Human,
It
as
does
in
seem
like
similar, right? From that trailer?
yeah, like
Yeah.
I just think with playing Once Human, because I don't normally like crafting survival. Like I don't like all the busy work and like
Mhm.
farming trees, but
Yeah.
when it's in a multiplayer environment and you're like part of a team or you're part of a clan and you got like a role, it
Yeah.
kind of picked up for me. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. And when if you have like an overarching goal, which in this is like getting spices and like taking on the worms and stuff like that, which is similar to Once Human, where you've got these 40 player activities that you take on bosses with. Like it's kind of cool. But Once Human just doesn't always run that well. So I'm like, if this is kind of like a polished MMO survival crafting, like I'm pretty keen for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just comes down to, what level of survival crafting it is. Is it like, am I farming trees all day or like, or whatever there is, like rocks all day or getting water? Or is it like, nicely balanced, I guess. But I'm pretty excited for June Awakening for sure. And I've seen lots
Yeah.
of like interviews with the developers, and they've taken the lore of Dune really seriously, which is great because obviously
That
it's
is
like
good.
crazy
Dude, every
sci-fi
time
lore.
we
So
hear that people are taking it seriously, it turns out really well. When we hear we're not letting them even play the game for the TV adaptions, always bad. So maybe we should, learn from that. That's good. Good to hear.
yeah.
But we did get to see Master Chief's ass. I mean, not always all that bad. Okay, it's always bad.
I'm
There
scared
was
for the Yakuza show. I'll continue.
Did you see the announcement for Secret Level?
Yeah,
I
this
did.
is
That
kind of
is
interesting.
insane. First of all, I
Yeah.
love how passionate the guy is. He was like welling up on stage. Love to see passionate, creative people like
Yeah.
flourishing in their life.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is
But
going to be
for
a
those who
TV
don't know,
show,
it's
right?
basically
Yeah.
like
an
Yeah.
anthology TV show. Each episode is going to be about like a different video game. Not about a different
Mhm.
video game. It's going to be like exploring that video game like in universe, like an episode of that game, right?
yeah. So I don't know if
Yeah.
there was greater explanation for it, but it looked like it's a Love Death Robot, isn't it? Is it the same guy that did that, or was it
Yep.
just the comparison they
Love,
used?
Death, and Robot. Yep.
Yeah. And so is it? So I don't know these details. Is it a different studio for every episode as well, like Love, Death, Robot, where it was
don't
like
know.
different styles, different studios?
Oh, I don't know if it's different styles and different studios. It looked pretty similar, like graphically. So it might just be different game.
Right.
That's the
Yeah. So
focus
there's
for each
mini self-contained episodes of a different game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have loved Destiny to be in there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would have been
Mm.
really cool.
Okay,
It
I'm gonna
would have been
mini rant for just a second because I
Okay.
was just thinking about this today. As I was
Yeah.
thinking about the Warhammer 40K stuff, and like, man, they got books, they got TV shows, they have their own app, or like their own streaming service called Warhammer Plus with like all these
Oh,
TV
damn.
shows and like live action TV shows, animated TV shows, computer generated art TV shows. They got, I already mentioned the books, they got the tabletop, they got the video games.
Yeah.
Fucking Destiny. Why didn't they do any of that shit? Why didn't they do any of it, man? With Halo,
Oh,
there
it
were
sounds like they were
books.
trying to.
There was, man. How did they not like get any books? How did they not get any expanded universe books? How did they not get themselves into like like a comic book or like just something?
They
like
did like
Well, they did do
short
comic. They
comic
kind of
books.
did. They kind of did a little bit of each. Like they had the anthologies, which were just reprints of what was in the game, and they did
Yeah.
do. They did do comic books, and that was by some pretty high profile comic book people, right? Artists
I don't
and
remember that at
designers
all.
and that stuff.
When was that?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah. And like a couple things, the law nerds got angry about because they were like, "Oh, that's not the consensus. Why is Whoosy Doos it there? Like they shouldn't be there in the timeline." That kind of stuff. But I don't know.
I mean, with Halo, they had done so much of that, right? It's like we got novels, we got TV shows, we got like there was that like it was like an anthology comic kind of thing. The art of
kind
Halo.
of feels like with the live service, I
there
don't know.
was
I feel
toys.
like
there was
I
everything.
feel like there was too much on their plate already, right? Like I
Maybe.
guess that's like the overarching messages of if they were spread so thinly already with keeping up with the live service model. Like I doubt.
I mean,
that
but
was
it's not.
on
It's not the same people though that are working on that. Like the people who are licensing that stuff
full
out.
of money though.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Like it started off strong with Destiny. Like they got. Was it Mega Blocks? They had some Destiny stuff.
They had
and-
Mega Block stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I don't know. There were a couple of things, but man, it just petered out.
Yeah.
What made me really think that is because Concord is in that show.
Yeah,
And,
that's
you know,
right.
So I was like,
Interesting.
well, Destiny could be in there. Like, why not? Why not?
So they got Mega
I
Man.
haven't played Concord yet, so
Yeah, Mega Man,
can't
God
talk
of
much.
War, Sifu, Ghost of Tsushima,
Sifu.
Pac-Man.
I was so excited about Sifu.
I am
being
pretty
there.
excited about Sifu
Yeah,
as well.
Sifu.
Ghost of
Okay.
Tsushima, also excited about that. Pac-Man, Armored
hell
Core,
yeah.
Warhammer 40K.
Armor Core with
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
What the heck? Those two things I love. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Yeah, this looks cool, man. Like out of left field, but cool.
Very
It's
cool.
gonna be on
So-
Amazon Prime on December 10th. It's like right around the corner.
Unreal Tournament. Flashback from like childhood.
Whoa, really?
Unreal Tournament.
Unreal
Yeah.
Tournament, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I hope they keep doing it with other games because
Yeah, I hope
really
this is
cool.
wildly successful, right?
Do you know what? I was like, I feel like I've been manipulated. Like, but I don't
you
care.
have been.
Whatever. Yeah, let it happen.
And like all of their previous work has been so good and this looks great. So I have
Yeah.
I have all the faith in the
Yeah.
world in it being good.
Sweet.
Civilization 7 got a gameplay
Yep.
reveal at Gamescom.
Mhm.
Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't played any Civilization 6. I got big into Civ 5 when it came out, though. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like looking at this, like, oh, it might be time to get back into Civ, like, because I don't think Civ 6 was
Might be
particularly
time.
well received, but hopefully they've learned some
Yeah.
lessons. This looked, it's hard to say with a Civ game. Oh,
It is
looks
really
good.
hard. Yeah.
I don't know.
Without playing it. You're
It'll
like,
be
it
fun.
looks visually cool.
Yeah.
Did you see what was this Sims looking game?
I'll
you
be
see
honest
that?
with you. I'll be honest. When the Monster Hunter Wilds trailer came on,
That's all you talked
after
about.
that, I was itching to just keep watching that and read all of the information about what they showed in the trailer. So I
That's
had
fair.
it muted to the side, Gamescom. And when it was something that I thought people would be really interested in, then I full screened it. Not of my own accord, just because I didn't want people to yell at me. But the rest of the time I was rewatching the trailer. By the way, the trailer was amazing. It was
Yeah.
it was incredible. If you haven't watched the latest Wilds trailer, go and watch it because I think even if you've never played Monster Hunter before, you see that new monster, La La Barina, and you're like, damn, that's a
I love that
crazy
name.
monster. I love it.
Mhm.
Anyway, sorry.
Yes,
Mafia:
chaps.
The Old
Sims
Country
game.
look kind of cool. It's gonna be, Mafia, but
Oh, is it
in
called?
Sicily.
Is that the name of it? In Zoe?
Inzo, I think, or Inzo, yeah.
In Zoe?
Inzoi, yeah. I think they're called
In.
Zois. Like the people are called Zois.
Okay.
They're like
Interesting.
that. It's the comments are like, if this is true, Sims is dead. That's probably the summary of it.
This is the one that has like your facial tracking, right? Like it can track your
I
face
don't
movements.
know.
Oh, that's
Okay.
creepy.
It's kind of like Sims in Unreal 5. That's the
Yeah.
summary.
Okay.
I mean,
a lot
listen,
of stuff we had already
I've been
seen
addicted before.
at Gamescom.
There wasn't a whole lot. I was really hoping for a Lies of P DLC announcement,
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
but there wasn't that much that I was really excited about that
Yeah,
I saw there.
I watched the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle trailer, but we've known about this game for a year, so it's not like
It's coming to
but-
PS5 though. They announced that.
yeah. And I think they announced it's coming December 9th. Yeah, that's the big thing, right? It's an Xbox developed game that's coming to PS5, and all the Xbox guys are pissed about it, and all the PS5 guys
They
are
are
rubbing
very
it in their
very
faces.
upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
What
know
else was
though.
there?
Like Marvel Rivals, we've seen before. In fact, a lot of people have played already.
Yeah.
Stalker
they had-
2. I haven't actually seen that yet. I'm seeing the
Mm.
thumbnails for it. Stalker 2 would be interesting.
Yeah, Stalker 2 could be good.
I'm definitely looking forward to
Yeah.
that game. But again, we've known about that game for quite a while.
Space Marine 2 once again got some more promo material, but we've
Yeah.
seen lots of Space Marine.
Tons of that. That's coming out in
Yep.
like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, week and a half. Yep. Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah.
From what I saw on my radar.
There wasn't too much stuff. That's why maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I could read the Monster Hunter website.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of stuff that they were showing that I'm interested in. It's just that it wasn't brand new. We just had Keeley up on stage 2 months ago announcing half of this stuff.
True. Yeah, true. And even then, it wasn't like one of his biggest showings for the June stuff. So
Yeah. I would agree.
a little light.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's there's still tons of stuff coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. So
Yeah.
and then next year already, it's starting to pile up. Yeah, good. Should we do some Twitter questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some from last week too, because we had some last week that we didn't get to because we canceled the podcast. Twisted Joystick Podcast says, is any one of yous picking up the new Zelda game? Thoughts on playing as Zelda in this one? Have you guys seen this?
I have. Yeah. I don't know if I'll play it. I think it's cool that you get to play as Zelda.
I think that's cool too, and it looks a lot like what's that one that came out a few years ago? It was the remake of the Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening.
It's like a 3D top down.
Yeah.
But like really interesting graphics. Almost look like, I want to say it like makes the world is modeled out of clay or something. Like it just has like kind of this real interesting look to it. But it also looks like an old school Zelda game, but with kind of, gussied up graphics. I don't know. I'll definitely take a look at it.
I wasn't interested at first when I looked at it, and then when they explained the puzzle mechanics, I was like, okay, like they are always very good at making like puzzle kind of games, and that's kind of like the strength of that series. So that was kind of what turned it for me. I was like, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I don't think I'll play it. But then seeing how the puzzle mechanics works, where you like copy things, I was like, that's a pretty cool sandbox. Like they could make some pretty interesting puzzles.
Yeah. I always play Zelda games. I never know which one are going to hit for me. Some of them hit like 100% and I like become obsessed with it until I finish it. And some of them are just like peter out after like 10 hours or so. And I never know what it's going to be until I start playing it. Like Wind Waker, not an interesting art style to me on when it was first launched. And I ended up loving that game. Ang says, "Are you guys excited for the Marvel Rivals game in December?" I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not excited for anything from Marvel.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Watts and I played it with you, didn't I, Watts? We played
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. It just kind of felt like a third person Overwatch with the Marvel skin, and I don't really like a 5v5 hero shooter that's a third person game. I just didn't really enjoy that. But I think if you like hero shooters and you like 5v5 hero shooters with a Marvel skin, like you will like it. It's just not
That's a lot of ifs,
what
but
I'm probably
it was
looking for.
wildly popular when they did the demo or the beta or whatever.
A lot of people were having fun
People
with it.
did like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
great. I always want games to do well. For me, I don't tend to like games where, and this is how a lot of the Marvel games play out, where you're just poking at each other, waiting for ultimates, or
Yeah.
like, and then everyone pops their ultimate, something happens, and then you start again. So I don't really like that. I didn't have
There's
fun.
there's no ultimates in Marvel Rivals, right? That was the kind of like
No, there's
difference
ultimates
with it.
in Marvel Rivals. There's no ultimates in Concord.
Oh yeah, I'm getting my hero shooters mixed
Yeah.
up.
There's no ultimates in Concord, which is why I prefer it, probably. That and the shooting feels really, really freaking good.
Yep.
Blandy McBlanderson says, "Do you mind if your spouse/partner uses your toothbrush?" Is this like a one-time deal thing, or are
Why?
we just like sharing toothbrushes on the daily?
No, they can get their own. We can afford toothbrushes.
Well, I feel like if you've gone away and you're like, "Oh
Yes.
crap, I forgot my toothbrush,"
One
then
off.
I'm like, "That's
Yes.
fine."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't,
I'm
of course
with
I don't.
you.
I'm not gonna be like, "Go get your own toothbrush,
Right?
asshole."
Yes.
You disgusting pig. Yeah, I'm with you. But like on the daily, like,
You'd be like, "We can, yeah."
here's
like
$2.
you said, I think
Get
we
your
can
ass
get,
over to Walgreens.
we can get another toothbrush.
We actually have different toothbrush needs. We have like the rechargeable like ones,
Mm-mm.
you know. Actually, we could both use the same one of those too, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Do you guys have those? Like the electric toothbrushes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like change the heads on them. No, I don't have one, but yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Do you guys have the spinning or Watts? Do you have the spinning one or the vibrating one?
The vibrating one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife has the spinning one. I have the vibrating one, which is
Oh,
inconvenient because they take two different heads. So you gotta like,
and just buy.
we
Yeah.
couldn't just buy the same one. Just make it easy. Cito's Art says, "If the exotic mission is the biggest ever, do you think there's any chance we will see a secret room that is perfectly made?" I'm not, you son of a bitch, Cito's. I'm moving on. Riss says, "I get it, Crocs are dangerous. No traction and not secured to the foot when they aren't in sport mode. But in a survival situation, they are edible. So if you don't have Crocs, then you're eating briar." Probably on that one. Are they edible? Is that, are we sure about that?
Well, now I have to Google.
Are we taking
Are
Risk's word on this one?
Edible.
Crocs are
Can you
not
really
edible.
eat Crocs?
I'm pretty sure that's like petroleum product.
There's a Vice investigation into if they're edible. This
I
is
don't
like a
think
long. This is a long article.
Remember when the
Can
internet
you
would
eat
just give you an
Crocs to
answer?
survive?
I mean, there's no nutrients or calories in there. You're just passing rubber.
So I think so. Okay, the thing is that it's made from non-toxic material, so that's where it
Okay,
comes
so it's not
from.
going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you. It's going to maybe sustain your hunger for your body from eating itself for a little bit.
Okay.
But you probably shouldn't just do it, you know.
Murray Proctor, what will end first, Destiny or Bungie?
Honestly, probably Bungie. Because I don't think they're going to let Destiny go.
Wow. Can you imagine if they shut down Bungie and just gave Destiny to another studio?
I think maybe both of them would be shut down. Or Destiny would die pretty soon after, probably, because there's not many studios who could handle like the live service that is Destiny. It's a little crazy.
But what if they
It's
kept the
so
Destiny
hard to,
IP? What if Sony kept the Destiny IP and then just made other
Yeah.
games using that IP? I don't know how that deal is.
I would like, yeah, put the single player guys on it. That'll make me happy.
That would be sick. A single
That
player
would be
Destiny
really
game.
cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, I'm really excited for Space Marine 2. Because have you seen like what they did is there is a campaign, like a standard ass Space Marine campaign, but they also have this kind of Left 4 Dead mode where you like collect armor and like weapon variants and like all sorts of cool shit and like kind of like a Left 4
I didn't
Dead
know that.
mode. Yeah, it looks really good.
Like when you say Left 4 Dead mode, you mean like just kind of exploring like a mostly linear, like replaying a mostly linear map, or do you mean like other players are trying to kill you?
Multiplayer. No, not other players. I don't think there is a PvP mode, but there's like a PvE like multiplayer mode where you go in there and you try and you know kind of get through it, and victory gives you rewards.
Right. Cool.
And, like you can level up your character, and there's like 6 different
Like
classes.
a horde mode or something that's replayable, right? That's what you
Yeah,
mean.
but there's like 6 different classes, so you can, and each of the 6 classes has a skill tree, and then you can also upgrade your weapons. You can upgrade your armor. You can fully customize like the look of your armor. Like you could paint it just like you can with the little plastic figurines. Sick. Yeah. Can you guys tell that I've been thinking a lot about Warhammer lately?
It sounds like
So
you're
anyway,
gonna be addicted.
talking about Warhammer.
Yeah. Dean206 says, if your mom and dad weren't married, would they still be brother and sister? Wait, what?
If your mom and dad weren't married,
They're
would
just saying
they
that
still be
our
brothers?
parents are inbred.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not sure if he's just trying to insult us or
There's got to be
I
a
think so.
joke here. There's got to be something we're
gotta be
missing.
something.
There's got to be something. Surely.
Sonic NG23 says, for Briar, you should try to do more occasional streams if possible. Maybe some Elden Ring. Sounded really excited about it in retro slot. Also, what is specifically your favorite barbecue sauce? I would like to stream a little more. I've just been so fucking busy lately.
You
Like,
just
I
throw
wanted-
it on when you're playing for a bit.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe that's what I should
How
do.
about
Is
this?
just when I sit down to play, just click it on.
How about we kill 2 birds, 1 stone? You get into painting Warhammer miniatures, and you can stream that.
I feel like that's risky
Yeah.
because I've never painted a Warhammer miniature before. I have no idea how,
And then you
how
could
that's going to turn
say,
out.
you can buy me figurines to paint live. Look at that.
I feel like I'm getting a bunch of dildos delivered to my P.O. box. Bunch of barbecue sauce looking paint.
Just think about it. You could crack open a beer. You're sitting there. You're just painting. The
Yeah.
content's there for you. You know.
Cracking jokes with the lads.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually. That's it for this week's, but I'm gonna go real quick and go back to last week's because I know we missed some questions.
We did have
last week.
some that we missed, yeah. Yeah, I put it up and then you guys were like, it's just me and Briar.
I had
We're
a fucking
canceling.
blazing headache too. Blaney McBlanderson says, do you guys watch any of the Olympics? Anyone have a favorite event or any event that they didn't have but you'd like to add? Competitive eating, competitive being eaten, maybe.
I always like gymnastics. You know,
Yeah.
those are always fun.
That's a
I feel like it's
classic.
something you can watch no matter if you know or don't know anything about it. It's always fun.
Yeah, you can identify if somebody just did something cool as opposed to watching like breakdancing where they're all doing the cool stuff except for that lady from Australia.
Yeah, Mylan, how's the local vibe
Breakdancing
around
scene
her now?
doing.
Ray gun.
It's so funny. Just like everything's almost a ray gun joke because we were warming up at jiu-jitsu and you kind of do like moves on the floor and then people are like, oh, it's a ray gun warm up.
Did you do the kangaroo?
Oh
I was
man.
just trying to represent the Australian wildlife.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen all the conspiracy theories of how
I
she got
have.
through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole.
It is. We have a good
Um,
laugh about it.
I watched the kayak cross, which I thought was pretty cool. Have you guys seen that?
No.
So
I didn't see
I don't
it.
think so.
they start 4 kayakers. I think it was 4. Now it's been a few weeks now since the Olympics. Up on a platform, and then
Oh,
they
yeah. I did see
drop
this.
straight down into the water, and then they paddle like hell, like all 4 kayakers right next to each other, and they got to go through an obstacle course. And it is a dog eat dog world out there. Like, you're definitely gonna get hit in the face. They're wearing like what are those
Mouth
mouth
guards.
protectors? Yeah, mouth guards, because they're getting hit in the face with people's paddles and their kayaks too. And it's just ruthless, and it's pretty
Yeah,
fun
I
to
did see
watch.
that. I think one of the
Um,
Aussies won one.
The table
Yeah, it was
tennis
cool.
I thought was pretty fun to watch. I don't know. I get weirdly like into like these like weird sports for like 2 weeks when they do stuff like that.
Oh,
I agree
skateboarding
with
was
Watts
good.
though. Skateboarding was good too. Yeah.
Skateboarding was good.
I agree with Watts. I like the gymnastics. Gymnastics is like a big like
Gymnastics
fun
is-
team event, and like I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a good one.
I mean, this year was obviously all about the shooting. All the stuff that was
The
Oh
going on
yeah,
about
air
the
pistol.
yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
dude in the putting his hand in his pocket, just being cool as fuck.
Yeah, you've got him, and then you've got all the people with all the super high tech stuff, and
Yeah.
it's such a interesting mishmash of styles of what people are doing that it's really interesting.
Mylene,
I,
what's the Australian like Olympic scene like?
Yeah, people get behind it. Like
Yeah.
Australia's pretty well known for like liking sport in general, even though we
Yeah.
have a smaller population than like a lot of countries. Yeah, very sport orientated, so people really get into it. Like, yeah, my parents always say, "Did you watch this?" There's like, the Olympics just on constantly,
Yeah.
like at their place. Yeah, because I'm into combat sports, I always try to get like the judo on or whatever on. But then I'm kind of disappointed because like Olympic combat sports are different from like normal competition too.
Mhm.
Like if you watch boxing, like boxing is very different. Like Olympic boxing from like watching a professional boxing fight, or like judo. Like when you get a cool highlight, you're like, wow, that's cool. But there's also a lot of like just like pretty boring stuff going on as well. So I convinced my family to like watch judo for a bit, and then I was like, "This is boring." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sure they're gonna do a cool flip soon. Someone's gonna get thrown really soon. Trust."
Noosh says, "What is your favorite song and favorite band / artist?" Mine is "Eulogy" by the Flatliners. P.S. Thank you guys for what you do. Makes work a little bit more bearable. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm sorry that
Oh.
last week's work was so unbearable for you.
Well, we missed last week. God
That's
damn
what I'm
it.
saying.
We messed it up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. My favorite band is Creepy Nuts. I don't know what my favorite song is by them.
that might
I
be
don't-
my
I-
favorite
that-
band too. Creepy Nuts.
Really?
I just like
Really?
saying Creepy Nuts.
That's good to say.
I've never heard a
They're
song.
they're performing at Anime NYC tomorrow.
Oh, that's just right around the corner.
Yeah. You should go. Go, Bri. Go, Bri, go.
Get rid of it.
We'll see
I
some
don't
Creepy
have a
Nuts.
favorite band or a favorite song. I
No,
just don't.
It's a song about your horse.
Yeah, some Aussie song maybe.
Tina
Ultimate
Turner.
Tina Turner, Nutbush. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, did they ever make that Emu movie, the Emu War movie? I know they were planning
don't
it
think
like
so.
years ago, right? Emu War movie. Oh, it came out in 2023.
Oh. We should do
There you
a
go.
DCP watch party.
Oh my god, it looks
We
amazing.
have to organize Dungeons and Dragons. I keep forgetting about that. Actually.
Oh yes, we should do that. That would be fun, Watts. We should do a watch along of the Emu War movie. We could do the Monster Hunter movie too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Only the dead have seen the end of war. The Emu War. That's the tagline, dude.
Oh, wow.
The trailer
pretty
is worth
hardcore.
looking at for this movie. It's actually pretty great.
I'm gonna have to watch the trailer.
All right, I think that's it. That's all the questions we got.
Honestly,
We wrapped them up.
Got them all.
well,
Sweet.
thank you for joining us. Next week we would have all played Wukong, so we can talk about that in detail.
Yeah.
Probably would have maybe also played Concord if I have time to do both. Unfortunately, they came out at like the same time, which was also the same day as Gamescom, which was also the same day I got on a plane. So,
A lot going on.
Wait, so is Concord out right now?
Concord, I think it might still be in its early thing. I
they're
don't know
doing
the.
like a
You know what?
pre-order early bonus thing.
I will look it up. Yeah, you could have played starting on the 20th. Let's take a look. So it is August 23rd. So tomorrow. Tomorrow it's coming out
right.
officially.
There you go.
There we go.
Up with that.
Dude, that trailer is a
Right.
10 out of 10. You gotta watch that trailer, guys.
I will.
All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us this week. We'll be back next week, theoretically, with more good stuff. Thank you all.
And TV should be here. Who's been playing more Elden Ring? He's addicted.
Oh, yes. I clicked on the video, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I can't wait to see
Yep.
hear what he thinks.
He's
of
having
it.
a good time.
I'm glad to
Did
hear
he make
that.
Did he make a video about his addiction
He's made a couple videos about Elden Ring, like stream highlights of it.
on his main channel or?
I think it's on his main channel, yeah. I think so.
Hell yeah. Pretty good.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.